Is it good now? Everyone can hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Let's see.
I believe
I can hear you now.
I'm so sorry, everyone. A lot of technical difficulties in the PRA broadcasting booth, as we have had a lot of issues trying to see if we can get the mic going here, and I'm sorry for not being able to put some wonderful commentary on this wonderful race here that we have at Grand Valley Raceway here.
Hey, it happens a billion times. It's part of it, guys. Enjoy Red Line. I gotta go back officiating. Alright, thank you, buddy.
No problem. As now we go back to the race here, Turismo is now still leading the race here at Grand Valley. He's now going through the first tunnel here at Grand Valley. As we look farther back now, so now everyone's starting to get in the flow here. King Saturn here has picked up a 0.5 penalty. I Am Lost picked up another penalty of a second here at Grand Valley. As we see, all the drivers are now starting to get in the groove. This track, I remind you, or I should inform you, is a very interesting track. There's a lot of different elevation changes when it comes to this track. This track has a lot of different elevation changes. It makes it very difficult to pass unless you're going through turn 14 through 15. Those on the straight between those two corners, as we see AY currently on that corner, now going to turn 15 here. We see on that straight, and as well as the start-finish straight, there's a lot of opportunity. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to draft, see to say people can get around people and try to get ahead of the competition, get that clean air, try to do well here. As we see Turismo, he is absolutely sending it, absolutely making a good distance. As I do agree, and Nitro, that Sluxu is actually doing pretty good here today. He's trying to hunt down Turismo as he's right there 8/10 behind Turismo, and KTB is hot on the heels of Sluxu. And we see KTB is trying to inch out most of the track here, trying to see if he can get around that number 17 machine and try to make the most. As we see Turismo also kicking up some dirt, trying to make the most of the track here at Grand Valley. As we can see Franklin here, Reith Franklin, he accumulated a 0.5 penalty on the track. As we see, Vinny going up the inside of I Am Lost. I Am Lost accumulates another 0.5 penalty here. Penalties are being given out like candy here at Grand Valley Raceway. It's absolutely diminishing for drivers to pick up that, because that's going to just slow you down. That's going to just really make you lose so much time to these drivers, and drivers could possibly behind you gain those positions and possibly just make that even more harder on you to try to make a good result here at this race. Let's look farther back here in Grand Valley. Seems like also Hips here picks up a 0.5, and he's off in the dirt here. But we can see that this track, folks, is not an easy track. It's actually one of the harder tracks here at in GT7. Grand Valley is a really hard track. You'll never see anyone truly get it right unless, well, we'll see if someone can get it right this time around. But I do hand it to these drivers. This track holds a lot of elevation changes, really captures a lot of the difficultiness of what Gran Turismo and stock racing is about on road courses. As we see now, they're trying to round out through the last tunnel here, going to the front straightaways. We see Reith also picks up another 0.5 penalty, unless that's the same 0.5 penalty he had earlier, but never got to serve it until maybe this upcoming lap. He probably will serve it. Everyone's starting to space out. Millie's really on the back of AY, looking on the inside here, going to turn 2. Doesn't get the move done, decides to back out, try to regather, and try to attack AY here again. But this is not, I wouldn't agree, that coming down here through turn 3 to 6, turn 6, it's not the greatest point to actually start making moves here at Grand Valley, because there's these 3 corners that make up the S collection. They are very, very difficult to get right. It's about the right amount of acceleration, right amount of braking, if you need enough braking to make those corners and that flow proper. As we see here, as Millie is going through turn 8 now, you have to also get these corners. That turn 8 is very pitiful for these drivers to try to get right, so they set up themselves for later in the race or later in the track. as we see everyone starting to really space out. Not much going on here, as we see, but Salakshu has actually gotten a penalty here, a .5 penalty in there behind, and that's really devastating because he was doing really good. He's up in second now, but he might be pushed back to maybe third or fourth here now as we start to really settle into the groove of this race. As everyone now is now in their groove. Not much happened here on the track. We see that there's 3 back markers here. Ran into some sort of trouble here early on in the race. Absolutely devastating for them, but I'm sure they will be able to make their way back up to the pack and really get up to the front. As I'm looking through the whole lineup to see if we can see if anyone's battling it out here at Grand Valley, but looks like everyone's kind of more spaced out, delivering a lot of mediocre action here at Grand Valley Raceway. All right, well, we watch these drivers go around this track. I would like to share some very helpful information about this track regarding its history. This history of this track is very significant in the worlds of the GT7 and Gran Turismo community as a whole throughout the years. Because back in 1997, this track first appeared as in the luscious forests of Grand Valley, and this track has had multiple iterations over the years, especially the turns 8 through 11 here on this iteration of the track along the highway. And this track is also located somewhere in northern California here in the States. But on the other hand, this track was very famous for the fact that on every game it hosted a race, or had one race in every game, to have a 300-kilometer race that spanned that would take you about, who knows, maybe like 45 minutes to get done. And it really kept the essence of that race. The only game, fun fact, that never actually had the Grand Valley Raceway was back in GT Sport, the game before GT7, because GT Sport had very minimal races. It was I call it a step down. Oh, and Turismo gets loose there. And Gran Turismo Sport, it was actually a half step trying to get into GT7. As we can see, Salakshu trying to get up on the back here of KTB. Let's see if he can get around him coming up to turn 2, or will they work together to try to catch Turismo? I can see him work together. Oh no, he's going to try to go on the outside, possibly of turn 1, then get the run on get the inside line here coming to turn 2. Will he be able to pull it off? And they're going to go side by side, and he gets the job done possibly. Will there be a cutback on KTB here? KTB slides right back in. Seems like Salakshu secured it, but KTB's going to be right there on the bumper. He's letting Salakshu know that he's there. But let's see if KTB can pressure him into a mistake here, coming into the turn 6 here at Grand Valley. We'll see that number 17 here really holds his own, and seems that he's got the position here at Grand Valley and not really caring the world that KTB's right there. Or maybe KTB here, as we approach the next straight, going to be after a couple more corners, will KTB actually work with him? I mean, if I was in KTB's shoes, I would actually rather work with my opponent and say, hey, we can't let Turismo get out of the way, get out of hand, because if Turismo gets away too much and he has that clean air, then that could be a drastic problem for the two of them trying to win this race. Or will there be a nice pit strategy here today at Grand Valley? Well, as we go looking through more of the pack, everyone's kind of settled in. Everyone's still spaced out to a degree. There was a little bit of position changing, but not by much here. Let's get back up to the front. As we can see, will KTB work with that Ford that 17 Ford up there, if that can be done? I don't think that number 72 has enough power in it to be able to keep up with Salakshu, but we'll see if that works out in the favor. Still within a second. Salakshu still is within a second of Turismo here. Turismo looking very comfortable up in first here as he goes through turn 2 here, going through the S-bends now, the downhill straight. Still looking very comfortable here as we see more drivers. The drivers are starting to really spread out now. So we got more of a front pack, a middle pack, and a middle backpack, and then now a farther back marker pack. As we see, all the drivers are now actually just getting in a rhythm, trying to getting things really good here, trying not to make too many mistakes, because it's really easy here at Grand Valley to make too many stupid mistakes. And it's really easy, especially coming around turn 9. Now, Sloxer actually gained some time on Turismo, now within 0.3 seconds now, and K2B's right there too. So if this battle started getting heated, it might be a 3-way battle for first. As well, now we're almost approaching the 10th lap here at Grand Valley, and the race is now about maybe once we reach we're about almost to the 33% way mark here at Grand Valley. Oh, now they're going to be single file now. Now we're going on to the front straightaway now. Will there be moves to try to take the position away from Turismo? Let's check the tire. Let's check the tire durability left on the cars, and it seems like everyone's still on the same fuel, same tire wear, and everything seems like everything. And Sluxer actually getting the draft here. Let's see if he can actually get the job done and maybe get a look here coming in. He makes a look on the turn 1. He's going to be on the outside, though, on turn 2. He's going to follow back in. Maybe he gets the undercut coming out of turn 2. Down into turn 3 now. Turismo, he's going to be right there. He's going to be side by side, possibly. Now Sluxer's actually going to go against it, go back into its line. Try to see if he can get another chance, maybe when it comes down to turn 6 or the hairpin or turn 6. Turismo is going to be maybe go defensive. No, he's going to keep his line. Now Salaxru is going to really glue up to him. He's going to go on the inside here, coming out of the exit. Now he's going to be on the outside. Still at a disadvantage, but will be still there? No, he's going to be a little bit wide. Maybe try to get a good run going through turn 8 and for turn 9 here. Oh, and they touch the wall here, trying to go really fast. Turismo really definitely trying to show his prowess, trying to really put up a defensive line. But they're going to be one by one here now as we approach turn 13 now. Turismo still putting up a fight for Selection, trying to say, hey, I really want this position. You're not going to get it that easy, man. Well, we'll see if K2B actually will help that number 17 to get around Turismo now. As we see, they're still rather spaced out, still within that 5/10 cap, but they're going to go through the carousel now. That is 15 now. And now this is the really hard part. If someone messes up here, that could be drastic for someone who isn't first, like Turismo. But it seems like now we're going out to the front straightaway, and it's still anyone's game for first. Will Selection trying to make another move here, going into turn 1 and 2, because if he can get around the side of him and maybe get right next to him through the corner. Will it be done? I'm going to change position now on the camera, see how it goes. He's going to be on the inside through turn 1, but he's going to be in the outside, to remind you, on turn 2. Maybe he's going to back off. He might try to get the cutback. He actually gets it on the bumper. Sluxer on the inside, Turismo on the outside, but Turismo's going to have to run coming into the Espez downhill. Sluxer he's forced once again to go behind that number 03. As now we're approaching turn 6. Sluxer's maybe going to go for a move. He puts his nose down there. Oh, and he got a 0.5 penalty. Absolutely devastating. K2B might try to follow through with it, but Sluxer might actually put a little bit pressure on Turismo, and K2B might actually be in the perfect spot here to gain something. Oh, as he forces Sluxer to go back in behind Turismo. Absolutely devastating. K2B now is trying to fight Sluxer for a position now. Absolutely ballsy move there from KTB, but we can see there's still single file, and Sluxer he's gonna have to serve that 0.5 penalty here, coming up to the penalty zone that is between turn 14 and 15. Going on the bridge now, they're very close now, within 0.2 of each other. Sluxer serves his penalty. KTB moves up to second place. And he's going to be right behind Turismo to see if he can make a move on Turismo. Try to see if he can get it done. Let's check the rest of the grid order. as we go through the back, King Saturn still in 6th. I'm Lost actually got a penalty back here with a 1-second penalty. He's going to serve that. Millie's going to prosper on that. We look farther back. AY gets another penalty with a 0.5. Uncle Bobby might actually get AY coming in here. Now going into the carousel, AY still gets the position. And Uncle Bobby's going to be right there with him. Maybe he might come and get a good exit coming out of the turn 17 here. Will Bobby able to make it past AY? AY still holds on to the position, and Uncle Bobby looks like he's not going to be able to get anything done once he touches that dirt. Let's look farther back. Tiff is now in 12th still. Kart Racing back at 13, and Hips is now in 14th. And this battle is actually getting heated now. KTB Slockshoe is now looking to see if he can get past KTB. It seems like KTB doesn't have the raw pace today as Slockshoe and Turismo does. But that we can't leave out that number 72 because he's still in position. He's still keeping pace with these guys. But it just doesn't look like he doesn't have enough in the tank to make a pass get done on these guys up here. But KTB, also remind you, has the fastest lap here at Grand Valley. That does mean something, though. But it does. We have no idea how this will shake out. Slockshoe really on the back of bumper here of KTB coming into turn 13, T13. And Slockshoe is going to probably try to work with KTB to try to get up to Turismo. That is to see if they can actually work with each other and possibly bump draft themselves back up to Turismo, because this track has very, like a lot of straightaways here. As we see, Swartz still kind of lurking back there on the background, but Slockshoe actually makes a dive on the inside, has the inside line on KTB, makes a move on KTB, and now Slockshoe regains the position back in P2. Turismo hasn't fully ran away with this race yet, but I'm sure Slockshoe is going to work really hard to get up to Turismo. But we might see in a couple laps, maybe 5 laps, that there might be a pit strategy that might go into play here at Grand Valley's Raceway. We'll look through the rest of the pack now as we see these two drivers. We might see KTB in a little bit make a move on Slockshoe. I don't think he has a little too far off. Actually, he's going to look on the inside. He's going to try to make a move. Slockshoe leaves the door open for KTB. KTB tries to capitalize. Now he forces Slockshoe to go out wide, but Slockshoe is going to have the position to go on the inside. As we also notice that King Saturn also went into the pits now to go in for his tires, possibly fuel. I Am Lost comes to the pits. Reese Franklin comes to the pit. Ava comes to the pit. Uncle Bobby comes to the pit. Now Diff. We have 5 drivers all coming in the pit. Let's get back up to the front, see how the battle is going up here. Slockshoe still holding on to second position here over KTB Killer. Turismo kind of just gathering more and more time away and making a bigger gap from these two drivers in second and third. And that fighting actually could be possibly hurting them in the long run here at Grand Valley Raceway. We'll look back farther here. Everyone's kind of spread out now. King Saturn gets out of the pit box now, as we could also see I'm Lost just left the pit box as well. Retha Franklin now is also leaving, followed by AY. AY might actually come out in front, and AY does come out front. Reith also comes out with hard tires, an interesting selection here at Grand Valley. He might actually go for a one-stop coming into turn 2 now, but we might see a one-stop from people who go start on the softs, then let's go say, and they're like, hey, let's go on the hards. Let's see if we can get a one-stop going here and try to gain a lot of time. But it's going to be really hard for these drivers because there's a lot of time still, about 1:19 between him and the rest of the front drivers. Uncle Bobby is now going to be getting a little bit more. As we see, typically the favorite strategy is a soft strategy here. Oh, and Reith gets a 0.5 penalty here. Absolutely devastating for that driver here. Let's go back up to the front now as we see Turismo still maintaining a 1.5 lead here, about 2 to 3 car lengths on Slockshoe. And KTB kind of settled in behind. And Swartz actually really having a steel head on himself, and he's really gaining some time on these leaders here. As he said actually just kept on kind of lurking just ever so slightly farther and farther up the grid order. Millie now is now into the pits. Now he's getting himself some soft tires now, probably. We might see Hips go in. Cart also might go in. But Cart has also got a 0.5 penalty here at Grand Valley. Farther back up, we go back to Turismo, and that interesting thing that's brewing up here. Sloxley is now still on second, K2B still in third, but Swartz is actually gaining quite a bit here. So maybe he actually might get up there and see if he can get something done. He might actually be on the same strategy as KTB and all the top three we have right now. And let's see if Swartz can actually get up here. It seems like he's just being really consistent today, not making very much mistakes, and he just might be actually so consistent that he's just might make up enough time to possibly put himself in a position to possibly win this race. We see drivers farther back are not going to be duking it out. We see Uncle Bobby and Diff here. Diff might make a move going down the S turns. We see Diff kind of looking inside outside, seeing if he can get something done. AY still chilling in his position. We see everyone kind of just getting. Cart gets a 0.5. Don't know if I have noticed that, but I just noticed Cart has gotten a 0.5. He's going to have to get it. As we now see the top four actually, are now going in for some softs now, or possibly some hard tires. We have no idea until they come out of the pits. But we see now that the pit strategies are now coming into play here at Grand Valley. We might actually see a one-stop possibly from the machines here in the top four, or maybe a two-stop. We have no idea. Let's see who can get out of the pits. It's possible that KTB might actually get out of the pits here first, because he has more fuel as he went in. Swartz also, I could see, also gain a little bit on Turismo. Turismo looks like he's been burning a lot of fuel up here, seeing if he can get in front of these drivers. Vinny takes the lead of the race currently, as our previous leading four are now in the pits. We look in the farther. Now they're all leaving the pits. Let's go through the grid order a little bit more. King Center gets a 0.5 penalty down in 8th position. I am lost still in his position. Everyone is still in single file. Uncle Bobby and Diff are still kind of within reach of each other. As we now will see how things duked out. Turismo still in the lead here as we leave the pits. And Swartz absolutely demolishes the other two in the pits and manages to get ahead of the two. Let's see if he took less fuel or possibly more fuel. Seems like he took less fuel, and Soloxu and KTB took a full tank. Swartz might actually have the just better fuel saving here at Grand Valley, and that could mean the life or death in terms of trying to win this race. Turismo didn't take a full tank possibly, and maybe that's actually a part of his strategy. He's trying to take less fuel, be faster on the short stint, and then take a second pit stop to try to get another set of tires, another fuel tank full, and try to see if that will get in the end of the race. But Swartz gets in the dirt here, but I can see Swartz saying, man, that might be the strategy of just absolutely just fuel saving slightly, just ever so slightly, just giving a little bit here, there, a little bit there. It's just trying to gain a little bit out of these corners and trying to not overdo it, because overdoing it could possibly mean that he's losing time and fuel. As we are now about the halfway point or halfway segment through this race, KTB is now going to be, looks like he has a little bit more speed than Swartz, but Swartz might have the better line coming out of turn 17 onto the straight for turn 18 and all that. As we see Swartz and KTB absolutely just seeing if KTB can catch Swartz, but it looks like Swartz might actually be on the better pit strategy here at Grand Valley. So actually still kind of in the rearview mirror here, still lurking, but let's see if Hips might go down a pit lane. Looks like he started actually on the hard compound, and that seems it might have benefited him a little bit more than other drivers, and he might pit a little bit later. And he still hasn't pitted it because he still has a little bit more empty fuel tank here. Farther back, we see Cart Racing and Millie. We're in relative good distance with each other. We might see Millie trying to make a move up on Cart here, but Millie kind of sucks up to Cart and just be on the back on the back bumper here, and going down the S-bends, he might just continue going in behind Cart and not making too much of a fuss. As we look, Uncle Bobby gets a .5 penalty here, and Diff is right there on the behind on the bumper. Seems like there's not many passing opportunities unless it's on the front straightaway or within the penalty zone on this track. We can also see Vinny's absolutely annihilating those tires, possibly trying to make those tires last as long as possible, and he accumulates a .5 penalty coming out of the turn 16/17 at this point. Turismo actually just gaining more and more time on the people behind him and third. And it seems like Vinny went into the pits now to try to see if he starts activating his pit strategy. And we'll see if Schwartz can be able to close the gap on Turismo here in Grand Valley Speedway. KTB kind of getting closer and closer to Schwartz ever so slightly as we could see him approaching the start-finishing straight. And Schwartz actually just kind of minding his own business. KTB also minding his own business. Just a very mellow race today, folks. We can see Diff making up a penalty off of Uncle Bobby after the penalty that Uncle Bobby got earlier in the race today. And Diff seems like he really capitalized on that moment, just being consistent here at Grand Valley. Aretha Franklin gets a .5 penalty. He had to serve it just now on the penalty zone straight between turn 14 and 15. Turismo lost a little bit of time, about 0.2 seconds here, behind to second by Schwartz. KTB still kind of lurking behind Schwartz. Nothing much happening though. At this point of the race, we're really here in the long haul, and it's just about consistency here at Grand Valley Speedway. Seems like KTB though is on a hot lap here, as he's up by a whole tenth here on his lap to see if he can get a fast lap here at Grand Valley. He's going to be on the inside of Schwartz. He pushes Schwartz out of the way. Slockshoe now going to be right up on the bumper now. KTB is going to be now in front of Schwartz. Schwartz is going to try to make on the move on the inside. Now going into turn 13. Schwartz going to be on the inside, making defensive actions against the people going into the penalty straight. KTB kicks up some dirt, pushes Schwartz out of the way. KTB makes it. Slockshoe makes a move past Schwartz too. Schwartz is now back into the fourth position, and now Slockshoe now on the outside of KTB. KTB says the inner line here coming through the carousel of turn 15. KTB might not have a good line coming out onto the straightaway here, as we see Slockshoe now going to be right there hot in his heels. Schwartz also trying to gain back some time he lost by KTB kind of shoving him out of the way a little bit. We'll see if they'll start making moves here as we approach turn 1 and turn 2. The turn 2 hairpin will be a big breaking point here. Slockshoe going on the inside now. Now going on the inside of KTB. He's trying to make a move here. KTB might go defensive, but he has nothing much to do because Slockshoe's right there. Slockshoe might have the line on him now as we approach turn 2. Let's see if Slockshoe leaves the door open. KTB on the outside now. Slockshoe's now might go in a little bit defensive. Blocks off KTB. Forces him wide. Schwartz is now back into the party here. Schwartz is now going to be right behind him. KTB is putting his nose on the inside Slockshoe now. As we go down to the S-Pens now. Going to turn 6. The hairpin at turn 6. KTB might make a move on the inside here as we approach the turn. Everyone kind of going the inside. Schwartz kind of sucking up to the bumper. We're getting bumper-to-bumper action here at Grand Valley Speedway. Slockshoe and KTB still trying to see if KTB can make a move past Slockshoe. But remember, all this fighting is letting Turismo gain time back on the other drivers. KTB going a little bit wide. Schwartz gaining a little bit of time here coming into the turn 13. Everyone going single file, choo-choo train as we approach the penalty zone of between turn 14 and 15 here. Slockshoe going defensive on KTB, trying to break the slipstream, trying to make something happen. Schwartz just not caring the world, having a care in the world. KTB still right there on the bumper of Slockshoe. As now we approach the technical section of between turn 16 and 17. Who will have the better run coming out of the corners now as we start approaching the front straightaway again here at Grand Valley Speedway. Not much happening as we can wait. Now we're going to be coming out of the tunnel here at turn 18, the final corner at Grand Valley Speedway, and we can see that KTB is now going to have the straight line speed because of the draft behind Sloxu. KTB might make a move here, go on the inside, but he's going to suck in behind. He's going to be side by side now with him. He's right back on the outside. Might try to do a cutback. Schwartz now is gaining a lot of time here now on KTB and Slarts in this three-way battle for second position. As we see Hips also, if you haven't noticed, Hips also went into the pit box now to get another set of tires. And now they spaced out a little bit more once again as we approach turn 6, the hairpin of turn 6. Seems Turismo, remind you, makes it a little bit more time. KTB up on the inside of Sloxu, makes her move. Sloxu might have the defensive line coming in through turn 7 and 8. Sloxu defends against KTB. Swartz looking on the outside here of KTB, might try to make a move now. But now they go back. KTB devastated by a 0.5 penalty, overcutting the turn 9. Absolutely devastating for him. And he's going to have to relinquish a position to Swartz now. This will be a good opportunity to go through the rest of the grid, see how everything else is shaking up. King Saturn has another 0.5 penalty. Millie and Vinny might be duking it out here in a moment. We can see that we went back to the front of the pack, and KTB had to relinquish back to Swartz, but Swartz was going to try to get a good exit back onto the straightaway. We might see them work together. It seems like that's not going to be the plan here because everyone is in a different manufacturer in this top 5 practically, and we can see Swartz may have a little bit more speed here coming into the straightaway, and we might see KTB trying to make a move here. KTB are going to be looking, probably try to suck up to Swartz. Might try to take up the inside or just suck up and try to do an undercut here on Swartz now. As we start Sloxu, now is going through the corner. Swartz got maybe a little bit of a shove. KTB might try to stick his nose up underneath, but he didn't get the job done, so he's going to be right on the bumper of Swartz now. Now they're going to go through the S-bends of the downhill section here at Grand Valley Speedway. Very dangerous section to try to be going too wide if they want. And that's why they went back to single file here. Another big braking zone now into turn 6. Sloxu lost some time to Swartz. Swartz might be going the inside now. Now has his nose up the inside, but he's going to be forced to go on the outside. KTB is going to follow Swartz, though, on the outside here. Sloxu is now going to try to undercut Sloxu. Sloxu is going to take the defensive inside line. Sloxu gets a bad line going through turn 8 and 7. So Swartz now might try to make a move on turn 11. Swartz is going to be right here on the back bumper. It's going to be very interesting to see how they can get it done through between turn 13, 14, and 15. Bumper to bumper action here at Grand Valley Speedway here. We see KTB up the inside of Swartz here, and KTB forces Swartz to go out, and now KTB gains another possession based off excruciating aggressive driving here at Grand Valley. Everyone's still kind of spaced out, and remind you, everyone, that Turismo has absolutely just ran away with the competition now, ever since the fact that Sloxu and KTB, and, well, they're just battling out so much, they're not trying to work together, try to get back up there. As well, I'll take you guys now into nonstop crank it up for a lap or half. I'll see you guys in a moment. And I am back. As you saw, that KTB made a mistake there coming out of turn 11 now, and now he hits the wall. Schwartz going to make an inside move here on KTB. They're going to be side by side, coming into the carousel now. Schwartz is now going to be on the inside of KTB, and Schwartz is going to get the position. KTB might make a move on the, but like a cutback now, going through the technical section of turn 16 and 17. Looks like that's not going to happen. Schwartz is going to get a good run coming out of the straight away. Sloxley is now going to still up front in the second position. Turismo absolutely trying to see if he can catch Turismo. Probably won't like happen because Turismo is up front with good air now, good clearing air. Schwartz now is going to have to defend against KTB now. KTB is going to have good slipstream now as it comes to the front straightaway. Schwartz is going to go defensive now on the inside portion of the track. Now he's going to be on the right-hand portion of the track. He's going to try to get a good angle coming into turn 2. Sloxley is going to be going slightly wide, and Schwartz is going to gain a little bit of time now coming into after turn 2 here of the hairpin. Now we go down into the downhill section here of Grand Valley Speedway. Like I said, it's going to be a very dangerous section here, especially at this time of day and time of weather. Tires absolutely burning up. Schwartz kind of just still lurking in the mirror of Sloxley, trying to see if he can get a move done. He puts his nose once again underneath Sloxley, but it seems like he's not going to get the move done, and goes right behind Sloxley. As we go through turn 7 and 8, so Schwartz is going to try to see if he can get a good line coming into the bus stop-ish section of the track, and it looks like he's going to be just rather opt for the behind of Sloxley and see if he can get the move done that way and try it again later after turn 14 and into the carousel of turn 15. Update of the rest of the pack, we'll check. Seems like I Am Lost, Vinny Venegers, and Millie accumulates a 0.5 second penalty back here. As we see, Vinny might possibly make a move here as we approach turn out of the exit 11, and Vinny gets a little loose there. But we might see Vinny try to suck up to get to I Am Lost here as we approach turn 13 now. As we now they're going to go into turn 14. Remind you, Millie's going to have to now he's going to have that slowing down, meaning he's going to have to get that. He has to serve that penalty now. Vinny now really going up to I Am Lost. He's going to make a move on the inside as we approach the carousel of turn 15. He's got his nose underneath. He dives. He makes the move. Will I Am Lost answer going through the turn 16 and 17 of these difficult technical corners? I Am Lost rather opts to go behind and just get that slipstream on the straightaway. Farther back, we get an update on AY. He's got a 1 second penalty. Uncle Bobby gets a 0.5 penalty now. Absolutely devastating for these fellas back here. Sloxu goes to the pit, is making a second stop here at Grand Valley. We can see KTB and Schwartz gets that position, but Schwartz is now back in second position, having actually a really nice race today here after starting in 6th position here at Grand Valley. Everyone's still getting the groove. Millie's now on the back of I Am Lost now. I Am Lost has lost a lot of time to Vinny ahead. Possibly might have a little bit a shot left front tire. He does. Millie's going to be right there on the back of I Am Lost. Millie might try to make a move here, trying to go in through turn 7 through 8, and I Am Lost gains a little bit of time on Millie here. This is Sweet Slox who gets out of the pit box now. He's now trying to fight Diff for the position. He gets past Diff really easily with those fresh softs. AY is still in the shot tires. Uncle Bobby went in for some good tires now. Now just exited the pit box. Uncle Bobby did. Schwartz now trying to really defend against KTB. KTB getting all over Schwartz's back bumper now. Trying to make a move here on Schwartz. Trying to get that second position away from him. And this is absolutely top-notch racing we have seen here between these two drivers. Well, 3 drivers, Slexu, Schwartz, and KTB here at Grand Valley. KTB makes a move possibly on the inside here. It has a little bit of distance. Rather, KTB actually is going in to go to the pit box, possibly going for another set of tires. Schwartz is now out here, left alone. This might actually mean Schwartz might be on a one-stop strategy. We have no idea what's going on here with the pit strategies, but it's going to be interesting of how this is going to shake out for the rest of the race. Vinny Vinegar's is now going to be defending against King Saturn now. As now they're going to get past KTB now as they go for the front stretch. We can see I Am Lost is now going into the pit box now. And KTB just left his pit box. Now is going to be coming out probably in front of Slakshu as we get him. Diff is now, we see in the background now, is going to go to the pit box, try to get another set of tires. As we go into the front, back onto turn 2. KTB gets out, woohoo, really tight there. Might be able to get to dive on Slakshu, trying to see if he can get that done. Slakshu might come out answer right back with a side-by-side action here. He's going to opt to go right behind KTB. He's going to be right there on the back bumper of KTB. We might see a move be done right here at turn 6, where Slakshu has slightly older tires, and KTB has like a lap or two more newer tires. We can see him now. They're going to be going one by one now, as we can see going through the next couple corners. We see King Saturn now as they accumulate a 0.5 penalty on this race. And we see that'll probably cost him a position to Millie there in the rearview mirror. Maybe not, who knows. But we know in this game, 0.5 penalty is not actually a 0.5. It doesn't mean you lose by 0.5 seconds. That means you have to slow down by 0.5 seconds. And you'll continue to lose time because you will just lose straight line speed, and there seems like Millie gets past King Saturn. King Saturn has to relinquish the position to Millie now as they go through turn 15 of the carousel of the tunnel. Looking farther back, Sports is now in the pit box. He went into pit box possibly trying to make more positions, or rather not make more positions, but rather make another pit stop to try to gain more time on the drivers. Vinny is now going to be probably going to capitalize on this moment now as we see Sports is in the pit box. Vinny and Millie, King Saturn even might be gaining some time off this. King Saturn, Millie actually going inside into the pit box, trying to see if to go in for some more tires. KTB and Slakshu is now going to be neck-to-neck battle here. Will Swartz actually exit the pit box first before KTB and Slakshu? We might see a 3-wide action. No, KTB and Slakshu, they actually gained a lot of time on those newer tires. Swartz just leaving the background now of the pit box, or pit lane now, as we see some side-by-side action. Slakshu going to be on the outside now, puts his nose out there. And KTB puts some pressure on him and say, nope, you're not going to be able to do that. We might actually might be going for a move here, coming on to hairpin of turn 6. Rather than that, so actually trying to get his nose underneath possibly on the exit here. Seems not, because he's still going to be right there on the back bumper of KTB. Question now, can these two drivers be able to catch Vinny, even though that they are almost 10 seconds out? Will they be able to catch Vinny? Because if they can't catch Vinny, that might be drastically very bad for these drivers here today. Swartz seems like he's going to be down in 5th position now. Still trying to work his car out, trying to see if he can gain that time. He seems like he's gaining a little bit of time by now. Possibly might be a little bit deceiving now. He's still losing maybe a little bit of time. Who knows? He might make some time. We don't know. But with this race is based off strategies, it looks like tonight. Everyone's still spaced out here in the back of the corner. Ooh, we see some action here as we see hips on the outside. Bobby's now, he makes a move. Car racing in the dirt. Bobby's got a 0.5 second penalty. As we see Bobby might try to make a move on the inside. We see contact. Car is now off of the track. Bobby is now made some contact. Really put Cart off in the dirt now. That costs Cart a lot of time. Hips is now going to be trying to be in the back bumper of Bobby. Bobby looks like he's being slow. And we see some good action here now. Going to the turn 13, actually. Now into turn 13. Bobby's going to have to serve that 0.5 penalty, but question, will he lose the position to Cart as well? Maybe even Wreath, maybe. Now he's going to serve it. We can see Hips are probably going to get by. Actually, it might just actually be Hips here. Is now Hips going to have the inside line as we approach the 15th turn of this track. Bobby's going to be too wide now as we can go into turn 16 and 17. Bobby just closes the door on on Hips now. Hips and Bobby now are going to be side by side now, going onto the straightaway now. Cart is going to be kind of just lurking here in the background, might gain position or maybe two, as we see him now. There's just going to be side by side coming onto the front straightaway, and we got about 10 laps now here to go here at Grand Valley. Cart having an incredibly good run coming out of the last corner, and we can see Cart just sucking up to Bobby as now everyone kind of just now getting into the rhythm. We can see JSM Turismo is now going into the pit box now. We could probably, to answer your question, it's probably about one tally now as we reach the 10 lap marker, and since there was a car off in the dirt. Not enough to quite put out a caution now, but it's one tally. Turismo, see how much time he's going to lose. Maybe Vinny actually might be up front now. As he hasn't made a pit stop all day. Seems like he might be actually beating Turismo out of the pit box. Turismo has had a lot of fuel he had to pick up. Vinny, and once again, a new leader of the race, is now up front now. Slockshoe 6 seconds behind. Turismo is going to be behind Slockshoe and KTB. This is going to get spicy now. KTB and Slockshoe might actually have to defend against Turismo a lot more than they thought they had, because Turismo had a long pit stop. He had to get tires and a lot of fuel. Unlike the other drivers here tonight, they only had to get about 20. They were already at 20% fuel as they went into the pit box. But at the beginning of this, Turismo is now going to have make all that time back. But like I was saying, he didn't have 20% of fuel left in the tank. He lost a significant amount of time to the drivers in front. Slockshoe and KTB looks like they're still duking it out. Turismo might actually gain some time here and see if he might be entering the scene here. As we can see, Vinny might actually be starting losing time to these drivers behind. This might be getting a little interesting. We'll see who can get the job done here at Grand Valley Speedway. KTB might actually make a move here, coming out of turn 14 on the straightaway between 14 and 15. KTB now going to be in the slip now. It's actually going to go defensive now as we approach the carousel of turn 15. It's actually going to be on the inside. And KTB is going to force KTB wide, and KTB going to be right there. KTB might try to get a good exit now as we go into the front straightaway. They kick us some dirt. Turismo really, really putting some pressure on, trying to gain up some time. Now things are starting to wind down. Things are starting to get heat up, wind down, whatever you want to call it. This race is about to come a 4-car battle here in the next couple laps. KTB gets the draft here as we approach turn 1, the slight left-timer of turn 1. KTB now really on the bumper. Now he's going to go for a dive on Slockshoe now. So KTB now on the inside. Slockshoe might actually get the cutback. They're going to be side by side as we go down the elevation of the S-bends as we go towards turn 6. Slockshoe had to relinquish the position. Now as we go down the S-bends, KTB is now in second position. How much time have they gained on Vinny? Vinny has only got 3.3 seconds. He's now getting on the exit of turn 6 now. KTB and Slockshoe on the inside now. KTB. Slockshoe is now going to be on the outside here at turns 7 and 8. Now KTB is going to have the line. Turismo, he's creeping ever so closer because he's got fresher tires and he's got about the same amount of fuel. Let's see if he can get the job done here. And then things are starting to actually start heat up. Slockshoe gets loose as he leaves turn 11 now into the right-hander kink of turn 12. Now we are into turn 13. Turismo is going to be looking on the inside of Slockshoe. And now we'll see if he can get the move down with the draft here of between 14 and 15 and the penalty straight. We can see Slockshoe is now going to be maybe possibly going defensive here on turn 15 through the carousel. He does a little bit, goes in a little bit deep. Turismo is actually starting to go maybe trying to get in there. No, maybe not, but he's going to try to get the good exit now, trying to go out for the front straight, and he gets loose coming out on the front straightaway. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. That might be a saving grace for selection for a lap or two more. Is now Turismo is going to have to actually regain all of that time he lost to him right back up, and that's going to cost him, especially since it was a straightaway when that mistake happened. I'm going to double check with the people on the farther back, and we can see Hip is now going to be AY and Hip are kind of duking out in car racing. It'll be a three-way battle back here, and we'll see how it goes. How it's going a little bit slower. Everyone is, I do agree, Racer Chick. Everyone's getting very loose here at Grand Valley. Car racing, he's trying to hold off AY. AY is going to be on the inside here, coming into turn 14 now. Kart's going to have the line, though, but AY might actually have just better momentum on the outside, and he gets the job done. AY gets the job done now onto the straightaway. Kart racing is going to be on the draft here, and Hip is going to be right up to the second. It's going to be a three-way battle. Hip's going to go on the inside, possibly dive it down into turn 15. He's going to put his nose in. Nope, he's not going to get it. Now AY is now going to have a little bit of a breathing room as he approaches the front straightaway. Let's go back into the front runners here, see how that's going. How's that battle going? We see KTB is now back up to Vinny. Vinny has lost enough time because Vinny's on older tires. He's not pushing as hard. But we see if Vinny could hold off KTB. KTB might actually have the inside line, but we might see a little bit bump and run here coming into turn 15. KTB is going to have a little bit of run. Will Vinny go defensive now? KTB is not going to be right there in the bumper. They might go single file through the turn 15. Looks like they're going to go single file now. Turismo still trying to gain up that time he lost when he went on the front straightaway. Looks like he made about a good portion, about a third. Can he get more? This race is starting to heat up now as we got four drivers now. Possibly might be fighting for the first position. Vinny is going to have to hold off KTB like his life depends on it. He's got those older tires. The question is, will he be able to pull it off? Will he be able to hold off KTB for like about 6 more laps here at Grand Valley? KTB going to be going for a move on the outside now, getting setting himself up for turn 2. Slockshoe is going to be possibly trying to capitalize on it too. He's going to be put his nose on the nose. It's going to be side by side. Slockshoe is going to be on the outside. Vinny might have to give up the position. No, Slockshoe decides to go back on the bumper of Vinny and try to see if they make that work. KTB is now leading the race. Slockshoe, they're going too wide down the S's. And will Slockshoe make a move on the inside? Slockshoe might get the move done here and coming to turn 6. Slockshoe does get the move done. Vinny's going to have to go back to 3rd position. Turismo now in 4th. Turismo is now starting to enter the chat here as we can see him going through turn 7 and 8th. Turismo is going to have a good run going in through. Will he get Vinny coming in one near upcoming corners? Remind you, Vinny's got the older tires. Looks like Vinny's is trying to really park it on the apex and try to prevent Turismo or delay time of the drivers in front of him. We can see KTB starting to run away with it now, as we can see Slockshoe also getting good, is trying to hunt him down, but we might see Vinny. Turismo now up the inside of Vinny, might try to get the run up to turn 15 now of the carousel of the tunnel. Turismo can put his nose up on Vinny. Turismo up the inside and gets the job done in turn 15. Will Vinny have enough energy or enough momentum and grip to be able to answer back? Will it happen? Probably not. As now they approach the front straightaway now as we start rounding out the last 5 laps here at Grand Valley Speedway as the race and season come to a close here at Grand Valley. KTB now is going to have to go and try to hold on to first position now, and Slockshoe is going to have the draft now, and he's going to try to get around it, possibly coming into the big braking zone of turn 2. KTB is still leading the race now, and Slockshoe is going to be on look on the outside. Very peculiar choice from Slockshoe, maybe trying to get the cutback on KTB, maybe trying to get on the inside, because Slockshoe is still going to be right there on the back bumper to see if he can get something done here as we approach the downturn hills of the S-bends of the downhill portion of this track. Slockshoe might go make a move here. Coming into turn 6 now. Turn 6 is another big braking zone. Slockshoe looks like he's going to try to make a good cutback here on KTB. Turismo has now entered the chat. He's within the car's distance between 2nd and 1st now. Question is now who has the better car? Who has preserved the car the best along the race now? The entire race. KTB is still leading the race. He's going to park it on the apex to hold everyone up, and he's going to try to prevent Sluxu getting in the dirt, getting some dirty tires. He's going to have a little bit less grip now. It comes into turn 13 of the track. KTB and Sluxu gets a devastating 0.5 penalty. That's going to hurt him big time as we start making it around the corner. He won't have to serve it this lap, but he's going to have to do it next lap. Turismo is going to be looking on the inside. Sluxu. Will Turismo make a move? Will he get it done when it comes into turn 15 of the race? As we see, Turismo is now actually gets the job done as Sluxu. Will Sluxu try to get past Turismo in the hope that he can get something done? Looks like Sluxu got a wide turn there, and it looks like that's not going to be good for him, for he's not going to have a good run. As we can see farther back, Vinny is still holding on to 4th position. As we see, Schwartz has been kind of lurking. He's starting to make up some good time now. As he might actually have better tires than everyone. He does actually have better tires than everyone, except for maybe Turismo. Will Schwartz get the job done and make some more time? He's got about 4 to 3 more laps now. Will he be able to pull it off? KTB still in first. Turismo still trying to hunt down KTB for the lead of the race. As now we go into the downhill portion now. Sluxu still have a 0.5 penalty. He's going to have to serve that next time he goes to the penalty zone in between turn 14 and 15. KTB still leading the race. Got about a good car length, maybe good 2 car lengths between him and Turismo. Turismo is going to really suck up to KTB now. This is going to start getting very spicy. Remind you, Turismo is going to have a better tire compound because he's pitted a little bit later. He's going to be a little bit more speedy when it comes to being around the corners. As Turismo also has a purple in sector here, will be able to get the job done on KTB. KTB is going to have to really defend himself against Turismo and have a chance to win this race here at Grand Valley. We look farther back. Schwartz is going to be trying to make a room around Vinny. Vinny really trying to hold on to his position here at Grand Valley. As now they go through turn 13. We go back into the front. KTB is still trying to defend against Schwartz. Not Schwartz. My correction. Turismo is going to be looking. He might get the run here as it comes out. KTB goes defensive, trying to prevent Turismo, trying to prevent him from getting a position. Now they're going to go side by side coming into turn 15. So Turismo on the outside. KTB is going to try to shove Turismo out. Turismo is going to have to relinquish that position. KTB is now going to have the advance. He's going to be in first place. Turismo though, he's going to be on fresher tires. Will he be able to get enough straightaway speed in that draft to be able to make a turn, be done in turn 2? We look farther back and we see Schwartz gets past Vinny now. I was not paying attention, but it looks like Schwartz got past him. As we see, Sluxu also had to serve that penalty. Will Schwartz also gain that position on Sluxu? Now they're side by side, first and second. KTB coming on the inside. Turismo on the outside. Will KTB hold off Turismo now as it comes into turn 2? Turismo is going to be taking it wide. Will KTB close the door on him? He does. Turismo, though, is going to be put his nose on the outside of the corner on the exit going down the S's. KTB trying to drastically trying to defend against Turismo. Turismo is going to be maybe put his nose on coming into the big braking zone. He's going to be right on the tailwind. They're going to be side by side as they approach turn 6. KTB on the defensive line. Turismo is going to be trying to get the cutback now. KTB gets a defense, just has a good defense there. Still has the lead of the race for right now. As we notice that now that they are might actually run into lap traffic now in the last couple of closing laps here at Grand Valley. So, KTB and Turismo is going to be duking it out once again. There's still about a car to 2 car length between the two now, as we can see KTB trying to desperately hold on to the lead of the race. Turismo still going to be right there with him. Maybe get another draft into turn 15 here. KTB still getting a little bit of comfortableness, of a little bit of distance. And Turismo sets it up the inside, trying to see if he can get something done on KTB, trying to put more pressure, really pushing his car to an extent. We also notice Wreath is now on the front straightaway. Wreath is now be on the front now, and now they're going to have to worry about a lapped car trying to get in. To worry about a lapped car on the front straightaway on the last couple of closing laps. Now we're going to be almost upcoming to the last 3 laps now at Grand Valley. Actually, correction, it's going to be 2 more laps coming up to the front straight. KTB is going to be on the inside of Reith. Will Turismo be caught by Reith going into turn 2? This might be drastic for Turismo with the left car. And Turismo hits Reith a little bit, trying to get around him. Give him a little bit of a bump and run, trying to get around him. Reith is going to be right there. Hopefully Reith could relinquish the position or between them and let the leaders fight. Turismo lost a lot of time when it came to the left cars there. Might be costly to him. Let's check on the back, farther back now. As we can see, Swartz is now hunting down Sloxu here at Grand Valley. We look farther back. Everyone's still kind of just in their way. AY gets a 0.5 penalty, gets loose. Reith gets a 0.5 penalty. But the action here tonight is up in first and second. Who will win the race? We got about a lap and a half left here at Grand Valley Speedway. Here on last closing laps of the last race of the last season. This is a one-way ticket to really end the season off right. We see Turismo look on the outside of KTB Killer. KTB is going to try to go in defensive. Turismo up the inside. Will he get the run done? He puts a little bit of a tap on KTB. KTB going to possibly get the draft. He might make a move here coming into turn 15. Remind you, also kart racing. He's going to be up front. Now KTB, will he go up for a dive? No, he decides to come in behind. Turismo, he looks like he's going to be caught up by lap traffic when it comes off to the straight. KTB right on the money here. It's going to be really tight. Will Turismo be able to get it done? Turismo is going to have to follow him. KTB is going to be right there, and KTB gets a 0.5 penalty. Absolutely devastating for the last lap. Second to last lap here. That's going to cost him big time, and that will probably cost him in the race. We look farther back. Let's look at the third fight for third. This is the last lap. Will Swartz be able to make him one more move done on Sloxu as it comes to turn 2? So Swartz is going to be right there with them, right here. Now we're going to go down the downhill portion. Sloxu is going to have to deal. Swartz and Sloxu are going to have to start dealing with more lap traffic. As we can see, kart racing is going to be. This will be a very inopportune time. Swartz is going to be on the back bumper here of Sloxu as it comes to turn 6. Let's double check on Turismo, see how he's doing. So Turismo is still in the lead of the race. It looks like KTB still have that 0.5 penalty. We see Sloxu going to get around. Swartz is going to get cut off by kart racing. Absolutely just devastating for him. It could have been a good time for him to be able to make up a lot of time here on Sloxu, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Hips also gets a 0.5 penalty here as it comes to rounding in a couple last corners of the race. Turismo starting to really show his dominance here at Grand Valley. As we see him, he's starting to really make some good headway. We see KTB has to serve that penalty. Will Sloxu actually gain that position possibly off of KTB, but Swartz is actually going to be right there behind him in 4th position. KTB is going to be rounding out 2nd here, as now we're going to approach the last couple corners on the final lap here at Grand Valley Speedway. Turismo having a probably stellar season here as we approach the last race, and you're going to end it off on a strong note as he is the leader in the current point standing here at Grand Valley, and he's honking his horn like everyone. He's done it. He's won the series. He's won it all here at Grand Valley. He's going to finish off his season with an absolute win here at Grand Valley. Congratulations to Turismo for absolutely destroying everyone in a set. Not destroying. That's poor words or choices. He actually showing dominance here at Grand Valley Speedway, showing he has the pace, he has the skill here, making very minimal mistakes when it comes to racing. KTB comes out in 2nd, Sloxu comes out in 3rd, Swartz having a good race in 4th, Sloxu also having that good race up in 3rd, Vinny now in 5th, Millie's now going to come across into 6th position, King Saturn now is going to be going into P7. Probably going to end up in P7 here. I Am Lost is now going to be 8th. Diff is not going to be in 9th. 10th probably is going to finish Uncle Bobby, AY, and Hips. See who they can get. Will Hips be able to get a move done on AY now as we can see him approaching the last couple of turns here of the Grand Valley Speedway race. We see everyone as they start approaching the last couple of portions of the race. I am lost in 8th. Looks like they're out of fuel. I am lost. Gets the win. Gets to beat Diff to the final line. They all ran out of fuel there when it came to the last lap. Hold on, everyone, as we try to get the last couple of people to finish the race. AY is going to try to see if he can get that 11th position out of Hips as we approach the last couple corners here of the race. Well, that does it for everyone. Turismo won the race, and we'll get to getting our driver of the day as well as our winner of the race today, as we can sit here, hold tight, as we can try to get those folks in here tonight.
Can you hear me?
Yep, hold on. Give me a second.
All right. You're good.
All right. Well, that was one hell of a race, Turismo. Seems like you've secured the win here tonight at Grand Valley. What was your thoughts? Like, it seems like you also come out on top for the season too. So congratulations, first off. But what was going through your mind as those last couple laps? Were you worried about KTB possibly getting the win over you tonight?
Yeah, a little bit, but I knew that once I saw him and Storaxu hit a few laps before me on that second stop, I knew that if I just waited a little bit longer, so I went a couple more laps than them, I knew I would have fresher tires at the end. And I think that's what did it for me, because KTB completely lost his left front there on the last couple laps.
So I noticed that pit strategy was the all craze here at Grand Valley because it was really hard to pass here at this track. And how was pit strategy, do you think, was the most important portion that actually got you the win here tonight, or was it just consistency rather tonight here at the race tonight?
I would definitely say, I mean, here I think like through the whole season as well, pit strategy was definitely a huge factor, and consistency always is. I mean, if you can run a consistent, fast lap time and also not get penalties. I don't believe I got a penalty the entire race, so that helped me as well. Just consistency, pit strategy. Once again, I kind of watched Storaxu and KTB, and I just pitted after them. Knew I'd have fresher tires, and there we go.
So, tell me how you're feeling about, currently unofficially winning the season until it's completely official tonight. But how do you feel that you've pretty much have it in the bag, that you've won the championship for season 0? How do you feel?
Oh man, it's exciting. I just love racing with these guys, and everybody that runs this league does such a good job, and I just look forward to more seasons, and it's been a blast.
Well, probably we'll hopefully see you next season. And it's once again, congratulations on winning the season here at Grand Valley and finishing it off on a strong note, if anything, really showing that you have the speed to clearly have the pace and the makings of the winning, just a championship driver here. Well, anyway, congratulations one last time, and have anything left to say to the viewers?
No.
Turismo.
Yes, sir.
Congrats, man. Congratulations on winning your first PRA championship. Thank you for ending off this finale week with such a great finale race. Like, really nail-biter. We had amazing races all week long, and I couldn't think of a more deserving champion for this series for right now. You came in and... Wait, did you win the GT Cup championship?
Yes.
Okay, so your second championship. I need to do my homework. What am I doing? But the inaugural Stock Series, Elite Series champion, I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, you came out, had some great races all year long, and on behalf of PRA, just want to say congratulations, and you'll be defending the championship next season. You'll have a big target on your back.
No, yeah. Once again, well, I look forward to it, man, and I appreciate everything you do and streamers as well. That's you, Redline. So,
Thank you so much, bud.
no problem. I appreciate it. Look forward to more, guys.
All
Good racing.
Alrighty, and guys, before we wrap up here, I want to give a shout out to all of the race officials and the content team that made this season what it was. Turismo, King Saturn, Redline, Boring, AYDY, all the franchise owners, and of course all the PRA drivers that make this season the biggest season that PRA has ever had in its entirety of 9 years. So, I mean, we're going to continue to grow and expand and welcome everybody in and give them the opportunity to showcase their ability. So, from everybody at PRA, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
This will be B-Dog and me, Redline, signing off. You guys have a great rest of the season. Well, it's the end of the season. Well, and we'll see you next season, upcoming. So, bye.